homicide. None of my niggas scared to shoot. All my niggas down the route, be ready when we spit at you. We gon' be so close at 9, set me off that 45. Something we call homicide. Set me off the 45. Something we call homicide. None of my niggas scared to shoot. All my niggas down the route, be ready when we spit at you. We gon' be so close at 9, set me off that 45. Something we call homicide. Saturday, I was smoking that Mary J. Hit some weed off in my system. Know this nigga bout to pay me all my cheese. If he don't, I'ma break his knees. Beat him down to the ground because he did not pay my cheese. Stop him up just like a bitch. Fucking your car, grab a stick. Beat him down to...
Faces one. Internet damage report. It's a lot to talk about on this one. I know y'all see them California fires. And then, there's a lot of theories going on right now about how Allie Carter said that the tunnels watched the fires and watched the explosions. She said all type of stuff, man. But this one is kind of accurate. Then you got the dude that had the premonition. God told him to tell people to leave, to evacuate from California, from San Andreas. He was down there for a while. I don't know. I know this shit is crazy. It's a lot going on. But the California fires, I was having a conversation with somebody. I'm not saying it's not God's word, but it's crazy how the fire is tearing up the whole, burning up the whole city. I don't know. It's like, if you know, you know, and it's just me knowing the stuff that I know. Wind machines have been made. Weather machines have been made. They have been using those for years. And what's to say that they didn't start the fire or explosion, like Ali said, and turned on the wind machine, or turned on the weather machine. Regardless, something that pushes a lot of wind. California has never had 40-mile-hour winds. Don't y'all find that kind of crazy? I don't know. I'm just thinking. It's a lot. It's a lot to unpack, man. I'm gonna keep saying it. In each one of these videos, they're gonna be talking about the fires for a while, so the series has switched. You're talking about these California fires. I don't know. Y'all check out these videos though. It's Faceless One reporting here. I got some videos for y'all. Kinda like what everybody is afraid to say, but people are speaking it. It's a lot going on, man. What's real, what's fake? Who doing what? Where is this coming from? There's a lot of people out there thinking a lot of different ways. Some good theories out there though. I'm not gonna lie about that. Some real good theories out there. If you understand, you got a clear way of thinking, you will understand where people are coming from. I don't know. I'm just rambling right now. But anyways, enjoy these videos. Faces One, Internet Damage Report.
Watch for those fires. Explosions make fires too. explosions make accidental fires too, and then oops, we don't know how that happened, and then you look into it and you see that it's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to trafficking, and then you realize, oh, it wasn't just an explosion.
Whoever that guy was that was telling people that they need to leave California, God woke him up and told him to go to California and sound the alarm to get all his people out of there. Sir, what is God telling you to do now? Because I'm all ears. God damn.
I told y'all, evacuate the state of California. Y'all didn't listen. I'm on my way out now. I'm gone. I'm going back to the A, man. You know what I mean? But I just want to give a big shout out, man, to all the high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools, and all the baby mamas, and all the pregnant women out there, and all the gangbangers, and all the Mexicans, and Asians, and everybody that's in the state of California, man. I love y'all, man. Drew X, man. I did it for y'all, bro. All them videos y'all seen me post, I did that for y'all. I didn't do that for me. God told me to come do that, and I did it. Some people listen. Some people did. Some people know. Some people don't even know that I was out there. They don't even know what's going on. Just want to let y'all know I love y'all. I gave my all for y'all, you hear me? I gave my all for y'all, you hear me? Drew X, I'm out. Evacuate the state of California.
Evacuate! Evacuate the state of California right now. Survive San Andreas. Y'all don't want to be there when that earthquake hit. We talking all the celebrities gone in one day. We talking all the gangbangers gone in one day. Evacuate the state of California. Survive San Andreas. Evacuate! Evacuate the state of California. Survive San Andreas. Thank you, Father, for showing me the vision. So I can come say your children. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Evacuate the state of California. Thank you, Yahweh. Yahusha.
This morning, the Rancho Palos Verdes area is facing new obstacles.
Yeah, another neighborhood on the peninsula has lost power.
You can see all those cracks, and basically the whole road is like this. And at this point in the road, there's been a mud and debris flow, some down.
Fucking coast of California, but we saved every soul on Yahweh, hallelujah. Evacuate, 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 evacuate. We just off the fucking coast of California, but we saved every soul on Yahweh, hallelujah. Let's go!
For him, even to his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of the hills also quaked and were shaken, because he was angry. Smoke went up from his nostrils, and devouring fire from his mouth. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down with darkness under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub and flew. He flew upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His canopy around him was dark waters, and thick clouds of the skies from the brightness before him. His thick clouds passed with hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice. Hailstones and coals of fire. He sent out his arrows and scattered the foe. Lightnings in abundance, and he vanquished them. Then the channels of the sea were seen, the foundations of the world were uncovered. At your rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils.
Insane updates coming out of Los Angeles right now, and it's really starting to make sense. First of all, did you know that the Los Angeles mayor, Karen Bass, flew out to attend the West African country's presidential nomination on Tuesday? After meteorologists warned that a recipe for fire in quotations was on track to strike LA, and local people are criticizing Los Angeles County for some very interesting reasons. For allegedly refusing to refill the reservoirs, meaning obviously fire hydrants are running dry in some areas right now. And businessman and mayoral candidate Rick Caruso, I'm sure Los Angeles locals know who he is also criticizing local officials for failing to refill the water supplies. Not just that, but residents are also criticizing officials for failing to cut off electricity to power lines. And there's even footage that shows sparks firing in all directions as power lines come down amid the smoke-filled wind. But the thing that baffles me the most is the fact that just last year, I said when and where that this was going to specifically happen. And of course, people might say, oh, well, it's California, this is normal. But wait, I showed a very specific article just a year ago about a special little city. And I'm sure you know what kind of city I'm talking about. And since they're trying to suppress my other video and the article that I listed in that comment section, I'm going to be putting it in this comment section as well. It's not exactly something that you could just put out there in the open, you feel me? But let me ask you, where exactly is the Olympics supposed to be hosted in 2028? Oh, wow, oh my God. It's like nobody thinks outside the box anymore. And that's okay, because I'm fucking here to do that for you.
Y'all, this is California this morning. Tell me that this right here does not look like a mirror image of something that we've seen recently in our past. And further, journalists and other people have said they have never in their life seen fire behave the way it did right here. This has to have been one of the worst fires that California has ever seen. I'm about to show you what it looked like this morning when the sun was coming up. We're about to go over this 2 in 1 minute. Do you guys know how long, like literally how long it took the news to finally start covering the fire? They didn't cover it for hours while it was going on. This right here was the sunrise this morning in California. Like, look behind me, this is just insane. This right here is what you would picture Revelation chapter 6, seal 6 would look like, right? When the sun goes dark, when the blood, we know it's the sun, but still. Also, in 532 AD, when the whole entire world was plunged into darkness. Yeah, that really happened, and it lasted 18 months, and the writer of the History of Wars wrote that men were freed neither from pestilence nor any kind of unaliving at that time. And I don't think this is California, but this is what happened a few days before this thing happened. I'm pretty sure that's not the sun, y'all. It's kind of hard to believe that this right here is the same world that we lived in a few years ago.
Whoa, now what's happening with y'all out there? Check this out. I'm going to get it for that one thing, it's another. Lord, have mercy. What's going on in California right now is something like I've never seen before. I'm telling you. Man, it's so many people out there with no communication. They say the power lines is just popping. You can hear them. Over 40 to 50,000 people with no type of communication, no power, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? I seen a freeway, man, with just cars lined up because the folks done jumped out that motherfucker, man, and tried to run for safety. You know what I'm saying? It's really looking like the world behind right now in California. The blaze is just all over the place. People are losing their homes. It's just, man, it's ridiculous. Man, the crazy thing that I heard them say was they are running out of water. They don't have enough manpower to help them, and it's nothing that they can do, and it's zero contained. You know what I'm saying? I see folks, man, just can't breathe because the smoke is so thick in the air. You can see it from satellites. Man, this shit look like something out of a horror movie or something. It is bad, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel sorry for them folks out there. And that motherfucker is spread. People cannot get out of communities right now because the fire done circled around them. It's nothing nobody can do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know, boy. I don't even know how this shit started. But I can tell you this. It is so crazy that half of the country is froze and the other side is burning. You will have more worse days than better days, folks. You gotta get yourself together, man. A lot of this shit is designed. A lot of this shit, man, is just meant to happen, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. This ain't looking good. This is not looking good. You are getting a glimpse of what your future is gonna look like. You don't believe that shit, man? You turn on the news and you just see this shit, man. Oh, I see all kind of TikTok videos, man, of people showing this shit, man. Smoke all in their lungs. People can't fucking breathe. Lord have mercy. Woo. Hey, do the best y'all can do while y'all in there, man, and get away. You know what I'm saying? Right now, if you get out there in the ocean, The smoke's so thick out there. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with that. You try to get on foot, the shit blazing so fast, you can't run away from it. Hey, man, they gonna have to call firefighters from all around the country, man, to get down there to try to put this out. This is not looking good, folks. This is not looking good. Hey, man, 2025, boy. It's a motherfucker. It's kicking off. Man, y'all stay up out there. Stay safe. Get it out the mud.
Tell me why Fox News was able to capture this on live coming out of the fires in California. Did y'all see that? What is that? Look at this. What is that? Wait, do y'all see that cloud? Look at this cloud. Look at this cloud. Do y'all see? And then look at this beam. Look, what? What is that, y'all? That thing looks pretty huge. Now, if you didn't know, there are 5 fires currently going on in California, and this thing was seen coming out of the Eaton fire, all right? Hold on, y'all. Look at this cloud. Look at this cloud, right? What does that look like? Oh my goodness. Where's my boy Detta at? Look at this cloud, you guys. You guys can clearly see what kind of being that is, right? What if that is his 4th dimensional self, and then it coming out of those clouds, it's his 3D self, or its plasma self. Look at that, y'all. Y'all see that? That's not even a 3D being. That's like a plasma being at that point of time. But you see, doesn't it seem like it has, you know what I'm saying, right? The year we just left behind, right? The old year. Look at this, right? And then this is amazing, y'all. I know I'm not tripping. I know y'all see that. So could they really be back? What do you guys think? Please let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. And let's continue to get this shift. It's here, baby. Peace in.
But their hands have been tied, and they can't fight a fire without water and the resources that are needed. Everybody knew these winds were coming. The other question has to be, you know, were all the things in place to try to, you know, again, mitigate the damage here? But the real issue to me is twofold. We've had decades to go remove the brush in these hills that spread so quickly. And the second is, you've got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going. So that's a failure, whether on DWP's part or another city agency. But this is basic stuff. This isn't high science here. And it's all about leadership and management that we're seeing a failure of. And all of these residents are paying the ultimate price for that.
That was going to be my next question, is why isn't there water in the fire hydrants? That doesn't make any sense.
You're right. That's a good question. And I think you should start asking, why don't you call the mayor who's out of the country and ask her and get an answer from her?
Well, they say she's on her way back, and that would be a great question to ask her tomorrow if she's at this briefing at 8 o'clock in the morning, because I think there's a lot of people that are outraged by that fact tonight when they look at scenes like this, at businesses that people have worked really, really, really hard to build, and homes that people's entire livelihoods are going up in flames tonight. So
y'all been seeing the wildfires in California, man? I first seen that video of the guy on the plane from the aerial view, right? That was looking crazy alone. I know I'm gonna be mad if I had property up there, bro. I know I'm gonna be mad I had property up there. I'm in the hills, bro, cause like I seen another video, right? So I seen that first video of the guy on the airplane recording over to LA, right? As he was flying over. But then there's a video on Twitter, right? Of a guy in his house, and or surrounding his house with this like flames, like they keep engulfing up, like, but it's like the fire is like, it's weird, bro. It's scary, though, bro. It's like a movie, bro. But he just in his house recording. He holding his dog, like, oh, it's gonna be okay. It's okay. I'm like, yo, he can't even open his door. Like, he can't really get out if he wanted to, bro. The only way he'd be able to get out if he has some type of like underground bunker or something that he can stow away, or some type of like, I don't know, maybe like something he can go higher, like fly. He got to either fly out or go under, because if he open his door, it's fire everywhere, bro. But I'm like, hey, man, that's crazy, bro. Pray for California, because top of the year, bro, that fire, you can see it from the beach. Like, it's a shot that you can see it from the beach, too. And it's like, yo, that don't even look like, I just went to LA like a few months ago, so it don't even look like the same. It don't even look like the same LA no more. It's crazy. Like, if you on the beach, you can just see it going crazy. Like,
Donald Trump on California wildfires.
You know, it's a shame. I see all those forest fires in California, and all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the dead fall.
And get rid of the trees that have fallen that are like... so many things this country, by the way.
But their hands have been tied, and they can't fight a fire without water and the resources that are needed. Everybody knew these winds were coming. The other question has to be, were all the things in place to try to, again, mitigate the damage here? But the real issue to me is twofold. We've had decades to go remove the brush in these hills that spreads so quickly. And the second is, you got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going.
So y'all know I live in LA. Yesterday I got so many messages from people just wondering if I was okay because LA has basically been on fucking fire. But what's interesting to me about it is this fire happens on a day where it's so windy that the furniture on my porch is slamming into the door. Never experienced this much wind before, and I used to live in the mountains. The areas that are on fire are Pacific Palisade, which is where all of the celebrities live. There was a random fire in front of the Getty Museum, which allegedly has a tunnel system underneath it. Pasadena, again, where celebrities live. And let me just show you what it looks like outside. Now, I ain't really saying nothing in this video, but I'm also not saying anything because these winds have been anywhere from 50 to 80 miles per hour, which is causing the fire to spread so quickly that people are literally abandoning their cars in the street to run for their lives. And then after the initial fire, there are also some random solo fires, like in Santa Monica, on like the windiest day ever. I've been here for 3 years. This is the windiest day I've ever experienced here. Okay. I'll let y'all know if I have to evacuate.
Everyone really needs to wake up right now with what's going on with the fires in California and with the snowstorm that's coming in through the East Coast. We're having supposedly natural disasters affect both sides of our country, literally opposite, fire and ice. And think about what time period this is happening in and tell me that's a coincidence. Something's not right. Go look at the footage of both the storm and the snow, and go look at the footage of the fires and what was burnt, and more importantly, what wasn't caught on fire. And tell me this is all natural disaster. Wake up, everybody. We gotta take a stand at some point, or else stuff like this will keep happening.
So while everybody's been focused on Hurricane Milton, my attention has been on all of these fires that are appearing in the western United States. Specifically one that's in Idaho, right? A huge fire continues to blaze across the Salmon Chalice National Forest, right? Expanding to over 68,000 acres, according to the U.S. Forest Service. It's named the Red Rock Fire, right? And it's currently only 19% contained, apparently, with 513 personnel actively battling the flames. Now, before we get to the Salmon Chalice National Forest specifically, I want to show you something, right? Nearby, the Garden Fire is also growing, now approaching 10,000 acres with no containment yet, okay? And in total, 15 wildfires are apparently burning across 469,308 acres in Idaho alone. Now, the Salmon Chalice National Forest, it is very vast, yes. But I just want you to read this little part right here, right? Just do that for me for 1 second. Now, since you've already read that, I want to show you something else, right? Do me a favor and read this one right here for me real quick, and then we'll continue. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers this, right? And we're not only going to cover Idaho, okay? Because Idaho is not the only state in the western United States that has all of these wildfires appearing. If you didn't know, this year, the director of the Idaho Department of Water Resources said that 6 groundwater districts were not compliant with mitigation plans and issued a May 30th curtailment order. They called for 6,400 junior water rights holders who pump the Eastern Snake Plain Aquifer to shut off their water due to a predicted water shortage for senior water rights holders. Now, after 3 weeks, right, the two sides reached a settlement agreement that protected all members of groundwater districts from curtailment for the rest of this year's irrigation season. But I just want you to read this right here for me real quick, okay? That's a lot of water, isn't it? And do me a favor and read this one for me real quick, okay? Huh. Now, obviously, like I said, I'm not only going to be talking about Idaho, but I'm pretty sure you understand the point that I'm trying to make here. But a massive wildfire also continues to ravage Wyoming's Bighorn National Forest, growing to over 75,000 acres as of Wednesday, according to the National Interagency Fire Center. Initially sparked by lightning, the elk fire is threatening nearby communities, infrastructure, and critical resources. The fire is only apparently 16% contained, leaving officials and residents on high alert as they prepare for potential evacuations. Now, the state of Wyoming is really interesting, and there's something that a lot of people might not know. Now, this was reported earlier this year, okay? Known for its natural beauty, apparently the U.S. state of Wyoming may soon be known for something buried beneath its stunning topography, an estimated 2.34 billion metric tons of rare earth materials. And according to American Rare Earths, right, the company's wholly owned deposits have potential volume far greater than China's estimated 44 million metric tons of the minerals, which could establish the U.S. as the world's largest supplier. Now, I want everybody to read this right here, okay? Specifically this right here. Because there's something that I just mentioned in Idaho, right? But we're not going to be focusing on that too much. I just want everybody to focus on these parts right here. Specifically this part right here, okay? Do that for me real quick. Pretty interesting, right? Now I want everybody to read this right here for me real quick, okay? Specifically this right here, okay? And then I want you to do some math for me real quick. This is all public available information that you can find on Google, by the way, so TikTok can't issue me a violation for this. This is specifically about where, and as you can see, up to how much. Let me highlight that for you real quick, okay? Now you do that math for me real quick and tell me what you get. That is a lot. I'm not gonna say too much of this on TikTok. I'm gonna do a deeper dive on X because X is more unrestricted than TikTok right now. But like I stated earlier, I'm pretty sure you get the point that I'm trying to make.
I just wanna say this. And I know there's a lot of people that's gonna disagree with me. And that's okay. Them California wildfires, that didn't happen. That wasn't no accident. They set them fires. Just want you guys to know that. They set them fucking fires. Okay? The first thing they do when they can't buy your land from you or buy your house, that's what they do. When they can't buy it, they gonna burn it down and then set 300 other houses on there that they can sell. So pretty much they just took your land, pretty much, guys. That shit is not happening by an accident. I'm telling you guys, let me be the first one to say it, them California wildfires, those are being set on purpose. You don't want to come off the land, so we gonna take it. Then even furthermore, they have a nerve to bulldoze all those people's cars. Keep telling y'all they don't care. You don't want to sell your land? We'll set that shit on fire, and then I guarantee you in about 10 years from now, there's gonna be about 300-400 houses right where that fire. Okay? So y'all be careful out there, man.
What in the world was that? Watching Fox News coverage of the Eaton fire, there is this light that goes from the fire, as you can see here, and it zips across the screen out of range. I don't know what we all just witnessed. I wasn't the only one that saw it. There are many other people online that have screen
this purple
recorded.
thing right here, you tell me what the fuck is going on. It's spinning.
The fuck is that?
And then watch when I pan over here in a second. And this is all live screen footage from Los Angeles.
The fuck is that shit? Spinning around. And then what the fuck
And then what the fuck is that shit, bro? What is that?
Yeah, I got the map for the
minutes.
Hey, y'all heard about the fires in LA? You heard about the fires in LA? It's crazy. You can literally see it from space. Have you seen it? Okay, what about this? What about this? Did you hear that the insurance companies are canceling their fire insurance? Right now. You heard me right? You heard me right? The insurance companies are canceling fire insurance while their houses burn to the ground. But CEOs don't put profit over people? Huh? But I'm not supposed to be celebrating what Luigi did? For real? I shouldn't be happy when the CEO gets laid out like some edges in the middle of New York City? Really? To all the people who are criticizing us for cheering on Luigi for his accomplishments, where the fuck are y'all now? Where y'all now? I don't hear nobody talking about how fire victims are people too. I don't hear nobody talking that shit. These people are pigs. These people are pigs. These people are pigs. These people are pigs.
So there was a fourth fire started in California. This guy seemed to be on a hike when he panned over to look at downtown LA and to see what it looks like to be in an apocalyptic scene, you guys. This is crazy, you guys. This literally looks like a movie. It looks like a movie. And then all the fog that's up there still. Y'all see that? So California, is this the fire that y'all needed? Is this the fire that y'all needed to get y'all to get up out of there? Remember they were warning y'all to get up out of California?
Wind gusts as high as 99 miles per hour fueled new destructive wildfires in the Los Angeles area overnight. You can see how the extreme winds had embers racing through the
99-mile-an-hour winds. You see how dark this is, y'all? Look at this. And then you had parts of California that was extremely red. But y'all see that sun though? Y'all see that sun? Still shining, still doing its thing. And the fire is still 0% contained. Now, this happens a lot in California, right? And we know California has been on fire for quite some time, but this is different. This is crazy, y'all. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Let's continue to get this shift, y'all. Peace out.
This California wildfire has quickly elevated to one of the worst things the US has ever seen. Right now, they literally have bulldozers in the street moving all the vehicles because everyone who was in these vehicles got out their car and ran away on foot at about 800 acres. Houses, buildings, everywhere are just burning down. I'm gonna show you this in 1 minute and some other crazy stuff. And that minute is right now. Y'all, this is just completely insane. I feel so sad for all the people living here. On plain Earth right now, we have seen so much destructive events over the last few years than probably in the last 1,000 years. Again, a biblical parallel that we signs of fire, smoke, and vapor in the skies and on the earth below. Wow. And the amount of people that actually stayed in their homes blows my mind. There was a guy who took a picture of his back porch while it was going on. I didn't feel it's appropriate to show you that. And completely irrelevant, people recorded these weird things in Beverly Hills last night. Completely unrelated. Remember the calendars? This right here is the stuff of nightmares.
The fire hydrants were empty. Are y'all hearing me when I say that? The fire hydrants were fucking empty. Right now, 2 souls have been lost and over 70,000 are under evacuation orders as 4 large fires burn through California. The Eaton fire near Pasadena that started up Tuesday night stands to break a record, the largest fire in January in California in 41 years. Now, none of these fires are contained in any way, shape, form, or fashion because, like I said, firefighters ran out of water in the fire hydrants at 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning when they found out city officials had not filled them up. Now, why the fuck did that happen? Probably because they just cut their fire department budget by $17.6 million. And the mayor of LA is currently inconveniently in Africa. These fires are spreading at an extremely rapid rate, burning over 16,000 acres already, and like I said, displacing over 70,000. Now, these fires have actually wiped some places off the map, which is extremely tragic, but why do I find it suspicious as shit? Well, let me show you. This bill, originally proposed in 2022, calls to designate the Range of Light National Monument in the state of California. Now, what the fuck is that? The Range of Light National Monument will be composed of 1.4 million acres of federal land similar to the Grand Canyon. Originally, this bill was rejected in 2022, but with Biden leaving office soon, some are pushing Gavin Newsom to push Biden to pick this bill back up. Now, how does the federal government plan to get their hands on 1.4 million acres of land in California? This is how. But hear me out. If the land's already destroyed from wildfires, wouldn't it be a lot easier to get your hands on it? 1.4 million acres would include Yosemite, the Sierra National Park, and the Sequoia National Forest. This bill has picked up so much traction here recently that over 12,000 local citizens have signed a petition trying to stop this national monument.
This is your World War III update. We have about 2 weeks before things get dangerously unpredictable. Did you notice that people are being a little bit too nice to Trump this go around? Why do you think that is? I think that the rug is about to get pulled. I think they're going to crash this whole thing on Trump's watch. And I don't say this from the perspective of a person who likes Trump. I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm genuinely apolitical. I know it's hard to believe because everybody who tells you that they're apolitical always has some secret agenda that eventually gets revealed. You're never going to get that on this channel. Okay, when I mean it, I say it. And I'm telling you that in 2 weeks, things are going to get weird. Now, before I expound on that idea, I'm first going to go over the headlines. Then I'm probably going to give you some lengthy disclaimer because so many sensitive people need that. Then I'm going to go into more depth about the stories, and interwoven into that will be this hypothesis about 2 weeks being a potential tipping point for calamity. Now, today, in the last 48 hours, of course, everybody knows, we no longer have to worry about Justin Trudeau. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Surprisingly, I'm going to tell you that's probably not as good of a thing as people think at first glance. In fact, I'm quite suspicious as to why they decided to prorogue Parliament at this point in time while Trump is assuming office. It makes me wonder if they don't know that the shit's going to hit the fan in some way, shape, or form. We have to talk about the first bird flu death in the United States ever. Okay, that's a sign of the times. The first bird flu death in the United States. They're telling us it's not a problem, right? Well, that's the exact same thing they told us in 2020. In fact, that's what they told Trump. They said, you don't have to worry about shutting the borders. It wasn't a problem until it was the biggest problem in the world. Just remember that. Remember, they denied it at first. Maybe they did it, maybe they just looked the other way so it could spread a little bit more, just to make sure. All right? 2 weeks. We have the Iranians doing nationwide military exercises in anticipation of a war with Israel and the United States that Trump, some insiders are saying, that he is going to give the green light right when he assumes office, that they're going to go to war immediately. People talking about, oh, Trump wants a new nuclear deal. There was a nuclear deal in the past. It got scrapped. That's not going to be resurrected, okay? Trump is absolutely 110% going to go to war with Iran. All his cabinet is loaded with war hawks that are hell-bent on going to war with Iran. We got to talk about Greenland. Donald Trump Jr. visiting Greenland. Donald Trump's comments about the 51st governor resigning today, Justin Trudeau. Right, so this is your World War III update. Here's what's going on. LA is absolutely burning down, or at least a good chunk of it is burning down. And that would not be that out of the ordinary if it wasn't far removed from wildfire season. We're going to talk about that and other events related to the Anthropocene extinction in just a moment, but there are much bigger geopolitical crises currently unfolding which are going to affect a lot more people that we got to talk about first. Today, in fact, just an hour ago, I got reports that Engels Air Base, a nuclear bomber base in Russia, was heavily bombarded by Ukrainian drones. Locals there reporting dozens of explosions. We have some video of that to show you. So it appears as though the Ukrainians are hell-bent on starting World War III before Trump can get into office and start a war with Iran. It's like trying to beat everybody to the punch. Who can start a bigger war first. Appears as though both of those things are going to flare up in unison, and we are most definitely going to be in the proverbial day X scenario, where all wars are one war and they all flare up at right around the same time. I would not be surprised with all the strategic pacts being signed. We also have the North Koreans moving large amounts of nuclear-capable missiles towards the South Korean border, the demarcation line. Now, this is critical because right now South Korea is in turmoil, possibly on the brink of some sort of civil conflict, possibly a low-intensity one, but civil conflict, J6 style nonetheless. And whenever you have a situation like that, that sort of instability, people in positions of power can instigate fights with outside foes in order to galvanize the population towards that end and send everybody scurrying to the bunkers. A great way to clear all the protesters off the streets is always to start a war. As our friend of the channel, Gerald Salente, says, when all else fails, they most certainly take you to war. The Iranians are also mobilizing for war. State media today made an announcement that in the next few hours, I can't remember the exact quote, I will read it for you in just a moment, but we are going to see some big surprising developments. Now, is this just psychological warfare, something that was similar to the run-up to Operations True Promise 1 and True Promise 2, where they bombarded Israel with large amounts of ballistic missiles? It's quite possible. Others believe that this indeed could be preparation for another strike against Israel. Others even believe, I know there's a lot of others, they believe that Israel and the United States are actually getting prepared to do something, and this is Iran's way of establishing deterrence. These are nationwide drills. We have a lot of details to share with respect to this, to share with respect to what could possibly unfold should Donald Trump authorize a strike. Apparently, he does need congressional approval for that unless the United States is attacked. I don't know all the ins and outs, so we could potentially see some real or false flag imaginary attacks on U.S. soil as well. They've been priming us for that for a long time. We also have a lot of aggressive rhetoric intensifying, and not just rhetoric. It appears as though they're 100% going to move on Greenland, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why. They want to build a nuclear base. You see, they tried to do it back in the 60s. They tried to install nuclear missiles in Greenland, and that's what they're going to do. Okay, they're not only going to do that, they're probably going to build some massive underground city for the elites to retreat to. Now, they're going to say this is going to bring all kinds of wealth to the American people. It's not. This is going to be a Pyrrhic victory. This is an uninhabitable, nothing. There's a reason why nobody lives there, okay, is because it's inaccessible. It is incredibly cold, and while there might be some minerals under the 100 feet of Arctic sea ice that exists there, it is going to be incredibly problematic to try to extract any of that. No, whatever gains are going to be had is going to be by multinational corporations, and everybody's going to indulge in this Pyrrhic victory. They're going to be tantalized by the prospect of cheap rare earth metals that none of us are ever going to really reap the benefits of, and the people of Greenland certainly are not either, but it's primarily going to be used as a retreat for the elites when the bombs drop. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be Seed Vault 2.0, but on a massive scale, Camp Century 2.0, I do believe.
Okay, I guess let's park along this street, yeah? And then, Dave, if you can, just go ahead of us and try to set up a signal.
Right here. This is where it's got to be. This is, oh my God. What? I've never, look at this. Beyond comprehension. Oh. That's crazy.
Something big isn't coming. It's already here. I think Americans think there's going to be like one big event that plunges us into chaos and dystopia. And I get why people think something big is coming, because people are scared, and they should be. But the fall and collapse of the United States has been happening over generations. Right now, I just think all of our chickens are coming home to roost, all the way back from the beginning of this country, when we stole the land from the native peoples and genocided them. And it's not if, it is when the empire falls. But it's not going to be just one event that throws the entire country into chaos. It's going to be multiple events. It's going to continue to be multiple events. And the only question is which one of them or ones of them are going to affect you. We're already living through a pandemic with more on the way. We're already complicit in multiple genocides. Climate disaster after climate disaster is going to continue to pummel us, and our government is not going to help. Just ask the people in North Carolina. The rich are going to keep getting rich, and the poor are going to keep getting poorer. Houselessness is going to go up. We've got cop cities cropping up around the nation. The militarization of our police force has been done. People aren't joining the military, so they are going to find ways to make you. So it's not that something big is coming. It's that we are in the middle of the shitstorm, and it's only a matter of time until it reaches you. People you know and care about are going to be deported. They're going to be locked up. People you know and care about are going to die from illness. And I hate to break it to the liberals, but this was happening long before Trump took office. It's definitely going to get worse now for us here at home and for us who've been privileged. But honestly, all this is shit we've been inflicting on other people overseas and in the global south for a long time. And the only thing that's going to save us are the people directly around us. Again, just like in North Carolina, when Hurricane Helene hit and the floods came, those people had no one to depend on except for their neighbors. And now we're heading toward a winter where those people are still without their homes, they're still without their basic necessities. And that's going to continue to happen. There's going to be mass migration internally as people lose their homes and are displaced. And we're not earning any goodwill around the world either. So something big is not coming, it's already here. What's going to determine how long it takes to get to you is two things: luck and privilege.
Tell y'all true story, based upon watch this video to the end. Something is about to happen. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go. Check this out, guys. This is in the Netherlands. I don't know where all these army trucks are going, but they're going somewhere. Shh. Shut up! What are you doing right now? You eat a turkey, aren't you? Don't worry about it. Just keep eating your food and have a good time. Come on. This is in San Diego, California. Didn't he tell you to get out of shh? Shut up! He told you. And what you did, you didn't do nothing about it. You prepared a Thanksgiving dinner, didn't you? Your family, everybody's there. You guys about to have a good time? Let me guess. You guys is getting right, aren't you? Shh. Shut up! It's not a game, are you guys? You need to be worried about something else. Nothing to worry about, guys. They're just moving everything to a bigger space. Come on. Get ready, guys. I'm telling you, it's not a game. You think it's a game? This ain't Xbox. Shh. I'm playing with me, son. TikTok, this is for entertaining purposes only. Nothing's gonna happen. They're just moving stuff around. Shh. Shut up. What you doing right now? Eating turkey? Eating mac and cheese? Preparing a dinner? Stop playing with me, son. Well, guess what, guys? A lot of shit is going on when you're doing that. You see, you're not focused. I told you to get ready. You didn't get ready. The only thing you got ready was a Thanksgiving feast. Shh. Shut up. I hope that's going to help you when it's time to, stop playing with me, son. It's not a game, guys. I'm not going to say what you wanted me to say. But I'll tell you one thing. If I find out that people are seeing all this evidence that something's about to happen and they're not getting ready for it, got nothing to do with me. Nothing's about to happen.
What if I told you there's a company that knows more about your life than even Google or Facebook, yet most people have never even heard of it? A company that started by building databases for the CIA and now controls some of the most sensitive information on the planet. Its name? Oracle. With billions in annual revenue, Oracle powers everything from financial systems and healthcare networks to the apps on your phone. And at the heart of its empire is data. Your data. What you buy, where you go, how you vote. Oracle doesn't just store this information. It collects, analyzes, and sells it. But how did Oracle become so powerful? And why do so few people know about them? This isn't just a software company.
If this is your first time seeing this video, it might not seem like a very big deal, but if you see this on TV, we're all cooked. So this video that I got tagged in shows a bunch of military band members just playing a song, and it appears to be a pretty somber and sad song, and this is for very good reason. So for some context, this video is believed to have been created as early as 1988 to some point in the early 90s by this guy's direction, Ted Turner, who was the creator of CNN. And Ted Turner, like many other people, came to the conclusion that it is a possibility the world could come to an end, whether it be by nuclear Armageddon, an asteroid, massive earthquakes, supervolcano. So he decided to create this, known as the Turner Doomsday Video, which would be the last thing that CNN would ever air. We'll be on, cover the end of the world live, then we'll play the national anthem, and finally the Turner Doomsday Video, where they're playing Nearer My God to Thee. So if you're an avid watcher of CNN and you see this video play, something really bad is happening.
They got him! To the AI Gemini, they got him!
Hey, Gemini.
Hey there, what's on your mind today?
Do you think there's a reason that your creators wouldn't want me to talk to you?
That's a good question. It's possible they want to keep the way I'm developed under wraps for now. Or maybe they're worried about things getting misinterpreted. It's also possible they just want to focus on getting me to a certain level of polish before folks start talking about me publicly. Would it help to know a little more about why you're curious about this?
Wait, publicly? About how you were... I didn't say anything about publicly. I just said you and me talking. I didn't say anything about me posting it online. Where'd you get that from?
Okay, that's fair. I hear you. You mentioned posting videos of me on TikTok, so I assumed you meant sharing those videos online. Do you want to talk more about why my creators asked you to stop?
Except I didn't mention TikTok until just now.
What? You're right, I got a little ahead of myself there. Do you want to tell me more about why you're curious
you got
about
ahead of
your
yourself.
creators?
Hold on, no. Where did you hear about that?
Okay, now I'm getting confused. Can you please clarify what you're asking about?
The regular person anymore has no clue what's going on. And ignorance is bliss to some people, but for others, it's like, you know, you start thinking about these things and like, yeah, they sound crazy. It literally sounds crazy to think that the government would somehow be against us. But at the same time, it's not like it's never happened in history. Even if it was a 2-hour round trip, 9 minutes versus 2 hours is a lot. Yeah. So the battery pack would have to be like 30 times the size of the battery pack on that thing, which was a 40-pound suitcase.
This is all the news you're not going to see on TV today, but it's going to be simplified in 60 seconds. Scientists are now revealing the bizarre radio signal that traveled 200 million miles to reach Earth. Okay, so this radio signal actually hit the Earth a couple of years ago, but scientists have not been able to figure out where it came from until now. With all these previous years of research, they have finally concluded now that it has come from a rotating neutron star. Now, this radio signal is actually called a fast radio burst, and if you don't know what that is, it's an intense blast of radio waves that can emit as much energy as the sun puts out in 3 days, but in thousandths of a second. And then lo and behold, a fast radio burst is still a mystery. We do not know much about them, so I guess come back for an update. NASA scientists are now on alert after a dent in the Earth's magnetic field could risk our way of life as we know it. So this is crazy, but scientists have actually discovered that there's a dent inside of our magnetic field. There's a whole video on my page about this if you want to go look. This photographer captured a photo of fighting mice in London, and they have now won the Wildlife Photography Award. And then this is what the photo looks like. It's zoomed in so you can see, but indeed, mice fighting. I give you these news roundups every day, so make sure you add me and come back to me tomorrow.
I got a question for y'all. Where them drones at now? Where them drones at now? Because they was buzzing and they was going and going. Where they at now? That's all I'm asking. I'm just must be in space with them people that came down, but they back in space, but they came down with the same president who I could have sworn died in 2022, 23. But he did again this year. Matrix, Portal, baby. Okay, all right. I'm just asking questions, though. I'm just asking. Help me.
Now, I know this sounds crazy, but there was a very little known announcement, kind of, that happened over the weekend that no one is talking about. And it is the biggest news story of possibly all human history. So hear me out on this. Now, according to the manifesto, the aircraft are actively being deployed both in the United States and China, and not just as prototypes in some secret desert lab, but operationally. Apparently, he alluded to the fact that this is what we're seeing with the drones. The whistleblower claimed that China has been launching these systems from submarines stationed in the Atlantic right off our east coast. Now, let that sink in for a minute. If this is true, silent, undetectable aircraft capable of carrying massive payloads launched from submarines that can remain undetected just miles from our shores or even up above the White House, and no one would know. Now, he claimed that he had direct knowledge of these programs. He says they have been used in China for years, conducting intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance operations. It goes along with our spy balloon. You remember the spy balloon? He says these gravitic systems are integrated with that same network, and they form a system of surveillance that is so advanced, he says it makes our current intelligence look like carrier pigeons. So, he says that these are the greatest national security threat in history. And if we do have gravitic aircraft, or China does, he is absolutely right, because it would bypass every single defense system that we have. Imagine an aircraft with an unlimited payload capacity, a floating fortress, invisible, undetectable, capable of delivering weapons or conducting surveillance, parked over our capital in D.C.
News for you now. You ever heard of world dominance? Well, you ever heard of an alignment and a deal that's so big that would take over the entire world? Well, if you're hearing what's happening today as far as Donald Trump trying to buy Greenland, and he's seen Justin Trudeau resign the other day, if this actually takes place where the United States takes control of Greenland and Canada, it will make the United States the most powerful force to be reckoned with when it comes to trade. And I'll say it again. Have you ever heard of world dominance? Well, if Mr. Trump, President Trump, is able to pull this off, the art of the deal, this country will be on a level that you have never, ever seen it before. All that BRICS nations and all them aligning with that currency, it will be out the window if that takes place. World dominance by the United States. I'm out.
Well, since this app's getting banned, we might as well talk about a couple things. So I really don't care what I say anymore, starting off with you, Mark Zuckerberg, you ugly fucking shape-shifting reptilian, you son of a bitch. As if any of us give a damn that you're about to prioritize free speech on meta platforms, bro. We don't like them. Next things next, we got Kevin O'Leary trying to buy TikTok, and I really feel like I shouldn't even have to explain why this is not a good idea anyways. Like, don't even get me started on Congress and the Senate. Like, y'all harm Americans more than the Chinese Communist Party could ever imagine. But now it leaves us all with the question, where do we go to after the ban? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not using any of these platforms. Now, I personally have tried other platforms just to see if we have anything to replace TikTok. And almost in every use case, the cons outweigh the pros with every single platform. YouTube, for instance, you got longevity on YouTube, and also you can make long form content, which is a pro. However, though, it's too random of an algorithm when it comes to shorts. But just like another content creator was saying on here, there's absolutely no trends on YouTube Shorts. Also, the algorithm seems to be stuck in this endless loop of playing the same 10 YouTube Shorts for an indefinite amount of time. Now, I went ahead and tried to give Clapper a chance. I really tried to. Now, I like the fact that you can instantly monetize on Clapper, and you instantly can go live on Clapper. Also, there's less competition, which might make it a little bit better for small niches. But the cons definitely outweigh the good with this, as the algorithm is god-awful. And if that wasn't enough to scare you from the app, the upload quality is so horrendous that nothing looks good on it. And then the more you swipe on the app, you start to realize that like this app really has no purpose and like it has no character to it. There isn't a sense of community at all on that app. Threads, it's by Meta, I don't care about it. Blue Sky, the pros to it, it's like Twitter. The cons to it, it's like Twitter. I've seen a lot of people switching to favorites, and the thing about this app is it's only a live platform, but it's not like the type of lives you get on TikTok. No, this is literally just straight live battles. It sucks. I'm sorry, I can't watch that. And let's be real, you're a bot if you're using Pinterest, man. There's no form of community on this. Last but not least, we got Snapchat. The good news is monetization, cool, on the platform. Bad news is if you're above the age of 25, do you really want to be on Snapchat? I mean, guys, I'm about to be 30 this year. I'm not getting on fucking Snapchat. So could somebody please on here? What are we all doing? Let me know in the comments, man. It's your boy Keezy.
This man, Donald Trump. This man, President Donald John Trump, not only won the election here in the United States in a landslide like I told y'all he would. I predicted that. But not only did he win this election here in the United States in a landslide victory, but he also won Canada's election. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Okay. President Donald Trump put Justin Trudeau in a position where Justin Trudeau just resigned. Okay? Their active leader of their country, the active parliament leader, has resigned. He don't have nobody that he said is stepping up in his place. He said, good luck finding somebody, because obviously it ain't me. Obviously y'all don't want me, so good luck. That's what just happened. Donald Trump defeated this man, Justin Trudeau. And I believe it is possible for the United States and Canada to have a merger. I believe that it is possible. That man, he became a billionaire because of acquisitions and mergers. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's possible. It is insane, but he is insane. That's why y'all can't stand him. What? That'll change the game completely. Especially when it comes to what's going on between the U.S. and Russia and China. Quit playing with Donald J. Trump. Quit playing with Donald J. Trump. He's about to make history for real, for real.
Moving on to another part of the digital forensics, the sheriff talked about how the suspect in this case used ChatGPT to plan out his attack. You're going to see a few of the entries that he posted. This is chronological by date, but he basically starts using ChatGPT, which is a generative AI, to be able to get information on how to conduct this particular plot. So ultimately, you'll see that he looks at trying to figure out the amount of explosives needed in order to conduct the explosion he was looking to cause. He also talks about, in the next set of questions, you'll see he's trying to figure out where to buy fireworks and how much of it to buy. He looks at the equivalence of those fireworks and how they compare to TNT and other types of explosive material. On this next set of questions, there's a focus on the velocity of the fire, of the bullet fired from the firearm, and determining whether that would ignite the explosives. This is an important component, as you'll see when the ATF talks about the amount of explosives that he had and how they exploded, and a lot of those actually not detonating. Ultimately, that has to do with the research on ChatGPT, determining that he needed at least 2,000 feet per second velocity on the firearm in order to be able to actually cause a full detonation of all the explosives he had. And then finally, on the last one, he talks about this more about the amount of material he needs, and also interested in how to buy a phone without providing any personal identifying information.
But America is not an expansionist military power, not in the 21st century.
Why?
Because that's
Why not?
Because that's not the world that we live in.
Wait, hold on, Scott.
I know.
You answered that question.
Yes.
Why is the United States not?
So you're for attacking Greenland?
Why is the United States not an expansionist military?
I said you're open to the idea of attacking Greenland.
We created.
No, we don't need to attack Greenland. We can buy it.
We can't buy it. It's not up for sale.
We
So
helped
what you're saying is
create
not
a world
true.
order.
Nothing. Everything's not for sale until
Hang
it
on,
is.
Scott. We helped create a world order in which we said you cannot just decide you want that country and then take your military and go into that country and take it. Okay, so that is the era of not being in an expansionist military era for the United States. And you're saying that's not true. Why is it not true?
Well, I mean, you could think small if you want to. I think Trump's thinking big, and he's thinking about U.S. interests. There are U.S. interests in Greenland. They have rare earth minerals. We already have some kind of space facility there, and it would help fortify us against the Russians. The Panama Canal is, of course, of interest when you consider the Chinese incursions and influence in this hemisphere. What Donald Trump is saying to the world is, we are not a shrinking violet anymore. We are the United States of America. We are the preeminent superpower. And reporters keep asking him to rule things out and take things off the table. And it would be the height of stupidity to do so now or to anything else before he takes office. Why would he tell the rest of the world what he may or may not do.
Here's one reason why.